Look inside yourself, Rosemarie.
So are we seeing signals of a change from Mr. Carney? We've heard words. What we want to see is action. And
what is your position on Alberta independence and how that should be dealt with inside the Conservative Party?
I'm a proud Albertan who believes in a strong Canada, that this would never have been an issue had Liberals all along understood that we have something to contribute here.
Hello, gang. My name's Aaron. This is Canadian Looney. Get your Canadian federal politics right here. Smash the like, hit subscribe. Check this out. Let's go.
Joining me now, Michael Barrett and Shuvaloy Majumdar. Nice to see you both.
Good morning.
Okay, so how are we feeling this morning with this result in support of the leader, Michael?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
87.4. It's a good number. It's a good day to have a good day. This follows, of course, a speech from Mr. Poilievre that laid out his hopeful message, the hopeful message from Canada's Conservatives about what we want to see. And this is what not only have I heard talking to delegates from across Canada over this weekend, but the speech that Mr. Poilievre gave yesterday is a reflection of the feedback that he's heard through thousands, if not tens of thousands of conversations over the last year.
Okay, and I want to talk more about the speech and some things that he talked about or didn't talk about, but what did you make of the number?
Listen, this is a united, hopeful party. We've confirmed that. It's the largest convention in Canadian history. It's Calgary. I think that you felt the electricity that the leader was able to connect within this room. It's certainly something, as Michael said, a result of thousands of conversations across the country. We know our movement is strong, hopeful, united, resolute. We have a leader that's a litigator and up to the job, and our party's endorsed that direction wholeheartedly. So I think stay humble, work hard is exactly what the leader would expect we do, and I'm energized by the result.
What has to happen now in Ottawa, inside caucus? Like, how does this translate into how you all approach your job and how Pierre Poilievre approaches his job, Michael?
Well, you look at some of the changes that you've seen since the last election. There's been legislation, government legislation, if not signature from Mr. Carney's government, that we saw was in the best interest of Canada. Now, at the time, we said with things like the One Canadian Economy Act that we would have done more so that we could go further faster, but we supported that legislation. The same is true with some tax cuts that they've made. We're supporting
bail you're going to move forward with quickly? Yeah.
Absolutely, because it's going to make our community safer. And this is so important because at this time we want to demonstrate that that we can work together on shared priorities when they reflect what Canadians are hoping from us.
And is that difficult to do sometimes to show you can collaborate on the issues that matter to Conservatives while still holding the government to account on other issues?
When Liberal ministers gaslight you, it makes it a little more difficult. Let's be clear. It's not exactly that the Carney Liberals have been full partners in working together to get things done in this country. For a year now, they've had the support of Conservatives on all of these issues, and they're slow rolling it. I'm not sure if it's a matter of competence or capability, but I know that we are a voice for millions of people who are extremely desperate with food insecurity going through the roof. We've got, I hear it in my own riding. People have to take things out of their shopping cart just to be able to make ends meet. These are very serious, heady issues, and it requires a serious effort. And so I think, as recently as last week, we proposed a Sovereignty Act that would unlock our resources and have massive consequences for our country. I think the big ideas that we have been championing all along are the ones we'll keep proposing, because that's what we've been asked to do by the people who support us.
Okay, how do you put that? I agree all those issues matter to Canadians. Polls show that too. But how do you put all of that inside the context of what the world is dealing with? Global upheaval, Donald Trump, threats of sovereignty against other nations, tariffs. Like, how do you work both of those? Because that's the piece that we didn't hear a lot about last night. A little bit, but not a lot.
Mr. Poilievre has been crystal clear, as have all members of our caucus, that we want Prime Minister Carney to get a good deal for Canada, and we want to help him get a good deal. Part of that means that we need to be negotiating from a position of strength. We've been expressing that we need to show that we have other customers, that we have new export markets, and Mr. Poilievre has talked about that, and he did address that about getting our natural resources to Tidewater is going to do a lot in that respect. And we heard him address the needed investment massive investment in our Canadian forces because that's part of being able to express our sovereignty.
Yeah.
And we've been clear that that we'll work with Mr. Carney's government again to bolster our military, to get to new trade markets, to try and get a good deal for Canadian workers and Canadian families with the U.S. But again, as Shuv said, this is a two-way street, and we extend our hand to try and get some things done, and they need to work in that spirit of collaboration as well.
We'll get back to the absurdity of Canadian federal politics in a moment. Just a friendly reminder to smash the like, hit subscribe. Please leave a comment below if you have something to share. Let's get back to the nutty video.
But is it hard, I guess is my question, to criticize the government on its approach with Donald Trump, for instance, and not look like you are somehow undercutting the prime minister or hurting the country? Or do you know what I mean? Like, how do you thread that needle as an opposition party? Because that seems challenging to me.
Well, Rosemarie, we are a democracy in which constructive criticism and proactive proposals are welcome. Right. An act of criticizing the government is an act of loyalty to country to make sure we make the right decisions. And energetically so. You have a prime minister who has said that on one side, Donald Trump is a transformational president, and on the other side, Canada belongs in Beijing's New World Order. These are confusing signals to Canadians and to the world. The best way to build strength and sovereignty for our country are the things that Pierre Poilievre talked about last night, which was to unleash our resources, be our best customer, get our product to market, build up our national defense to go it alone if we have to.
There you are. You're criticizing the moves that he's made against China, but you both say that he needs to diversify trade. Why would you not go to China and try and find markets there?
The center of gravity of global growth for the next half century is the Indo-Pacific region. It involves billions of people and many countries, from Korea to Japan to Australia and others.
They're working all of those countries, but you seem...
But a new strategic partnership that's focusing on, and to Xi Jinping's face describing him as an important leader in a new world order is a very dangerous thing to do at this time.
Okay, but you're not against him seeking those trade relations with China, are you?
Strategic management of China is, I think, the better approach for the government to take when it comes to China. Strategic partnership with TPP nations, Quad nations, partners in the region that actually share our values and our strength of supply chain security is obviously where we need to spend our time.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about national unity, because that was also something that came up in the speech. He alluded to Quebec and he alluded to where we are in Alberta, obviously. He blamed the Liberals for a lot of it, but it's any government's responsibility to hold the country together. How concerned are you about that and how the government is handling that, and then how you as Conservatives need to respond to those threats that are real, whether they're about to happen, I don't know, but they are real?
We need to take any threat of separation seriously, because we are stronger together as one country, and it's about respect. We need to make sure that we're respecting the province's areas of jurisdiction, making them, treating them as equal partners, and really, what we've seen is that when it's been inconvenient over the last 10 years, that the Liberal government has disregarded that this is a partnership. And what we've seen... And
you think that feeds into independence movements? That's your suggestion?
Well, absolutely. And people I'm not an Albertan.
No, nor am I. We'll ask him in a minute.
I'm not a Quebecer.
Yeah.
But what I've heard are genuine sentiments from people in those provinces and from those provinces, and it needs to be taken seriously. And what do they want? They want a fair deal. Mm-hmm. And I think that when you get told that your way of life is a thing of the past, and that you need to retool and keep it in the ground, for people who have very dirty hands but make clean money for everyone in this country, that's a very disrespectful approach. And so, are we seeing signals of a change from Mr. Carney? We've heard words. What we want to see is action, and that's what we deserve. And I think that would demonstrate the partnership that a lot of folks are looking for.
And that's certainly what the MOU, part of the intent behind the MOU that the government signed with Alberta, was to try and deal with some of the things that Michael's talking about. People in Alberta frustrated with the way they've been treated stated previously. What is your position on Alberta independence and how that should be dealt with inside the Conservative Party?
Western resentment is a result of having our industry and our workers being attacked systemically for a decade. Quebec separatism is a result of an imposed idea of post-national ideology, saying that our nation has no ideology, we have no identity, we have no place, no sense of history. It's not an accident of history that under liberal rule is when you find Canada most disunited.
I don't know if that's true. You find referendums. I don't know if you see it.
Referendums is probably the most dangerous expression of getting close to the brink of losing the country, as it did under Chrétien.
The Bloc Québécois was formed under Brian Mulroney.
It was an aftermath of that result.
Anyway,
but
go on.
My point, though, is it was Stephen Harper over a decade ago that resolved these resentments and had a confederation that worked. Because, as Michael said, there was respect across the federation for how our country ought to be governed.
But as an Alberta MP...
I'm a proud Albertan who believes in a strong Canada, that this would never have been an issue had Liberals all along understood that we have something to contribute here, we have a stake in the future of our country, and we're keen to build. But if the country keeps turning its back, if federal government politicians keep stirring the hornet's nest with their policies and their bait and switches, then they're not doing a service to the unity of this country.
Quick 30 seconds to both of you. What do you want to see the leader do next?
This is about, again, what all Canadians want to see, actions following words. And Mr. Poilievre has committed to delivering results for Canadians. We talked about the Sovereignty Act. We talked about working with the government where it makes sense to get results for Canadians, getting a good deal for Canada with the U.S., trying to work with the Liberal government to achieve that. And so that's exactly what you're going to see from Conservatives when we get back to Ottawa, and we're going to do it while we're holding them to account. As Shuv said, it's an act of loyalty.
Last word to you.
I think we're going to be energetic in the spring. Michael has said it exactly right. We're here to be a constructive opposition. We want to get things done. The stakes are too high in this country for gamesmanship. And we've got a serious set of proposals that Pierre Poilievre laid forward before the party and the country yesterday. And we really sincerely hope that we can find a way to get those done.
Shuv, Michael, thank you both so much for being here. I'll see you back in Ottawa. Appreciate it.
Safe travels.
See you.
Canadian federal politics are absurd. We're going to stick a fork in that video. It's over. My name's Aaron. This is Canadian Looney. Smash like, hit subscribe. Please leave a comment below if you have something to share. Enjoy this playlist. Check out this video. We've got lots of things to watch. Aaron, Canadian Looney. We'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching this one. Ciao for now.